One Championship Battleground 3, 5 fights on the entire fight card right here. The co-main event, the Yoji Banma versus a former Muay Thai champion and a former one strawweight champion in Des Damrong, Sora Nuai Sir Shogi, and then Duoji Bama. So that's going to be a really good co-main event. We got Daiwan Kim and Weishi in a bantamweight fight. Really good fight right there. Veteran versus a newcomer to one championship. So a new versus young type of fight right there. We got Eugenie and Janelle and Olsen. Really solid fight in the women's strawweight division. Thang and then Minjong in the featherweight division. And another featherweight fight with Pedro, Jargo, and Battle Royal. Overall, it is a very solid fight card. We have two veterans in the co-main event right there, and in this bantamweight fight right there. Other than that, we got a lot of up-and-coming prospects that are on the main card of one championship Battleground 3. But what we're going to be doing today is a full card prediction for every single one of the fights. If you want to be notified for when I post another full card prediction for one championship, for PFL, Bellator, UFC, whatever the case may be, like this video and subscribe to the channel. That really would mean a lot, and you get notified for when I post a new video. So without all that being said, let's go into the first fight on the fight card. This one is going to be in the featherweight division. Pedro Jargo versus Battle Royal in the featherweight division. It's probably going to be a 50-50 fight. Pedro Jargo is going to be a lot smaller and a lot less in the reach department as well. Ben Royal is going to be 4 inches taller. Really solid Muay Thai at range. Jab, 1-2, leg kick, body kick, knees in the clinch, all of that type of stuff. All the kicking, the punching, pretty much everything in the striking. I do think Ben Royal will have the advantage. His only loss is by rear naked choke submission. Which is a little interesting because Pedro Jargo with 6 wins and 1 loss has a very good rear naked choke submission, as well as an arm triangle, a Von Flue choke, a Darce choke. I mean, he has really solid submission skills. Goes out there, just pressures you a lot on the feet, moves you to the back of the cage, and just gets the fight to the clinch. Either a single leg takedown or you'll get the body lock and trip takedown as well. So his grappling and his wrestling is way better than Ben Royal. And the fact that Ben Royal's only loss is by rear naked choke submission right there makes it a little interesting. A lot of his wins are submissions, but if he's going to win, it's going to be on the feet at range and just jabbing a 1-2 and then letting a big right hand down the middle, or just winning a very technical striking decision. But for me, I think Pedro Jargo is going to destroy him on the ground. He has way better wrestling, way better grappling. I think he's going to clinch up, get that body lock, and then trip him down, get into side control, maybe even full mount like he did last time. So I think this one's going to be a pretty dominant decision win either way the fight goes, or maybe a submission. I can definitely see a finish right here, but either way, if Perev's going to win, it's going to be a dominant grappling and wrestling fight. If Ben Royal's going to win, it's going to be a dominant striking fight. But I do think Pedro Jargo is going to get the fight down and get the submission in the first or second round. But it is a really solid fight in the featherweight division. But put your predictions in the comment section below. Pedro Jargo and Ben Royal in the featherweight division. My prediction, Pedro Jargo by submission. A really good fight in the featherweight division. Thang and Minjong in the featherweight division. Grappler, wrestler type of guy versus Minjong, who isn't really like focused on the grappling, focused on the wrestling. He's just an all-around MMA fighter. 11 wins and 8 losses. Second round neck crank knock or submission win. Rear naked right there. A knee and punches knock win right there as well. But I believe he's going to be a little bit taller. No, he's not going to be taller, but I believe he's going to have the best way for him to win the fight is going to be in the striking, because Thang, the man's wrestling and the man's ground and pound is vicious. I don't really know too much about the submission game because he doesn't really go for too many submissions. I mean, in his amateur career, he did get one rear naked, but as a pro inside of one championship, he's been mainly just going for the ground and pound and just grinding out the decision or getting another TKO win due to ground and pound. So I really don't expect him to go for any submissions or anything like that. Just out wrestle Minjong and just ground and pound for that decision. And then Minjong needs his fight to stay on the feet. His striking's decent, but his wrestling and grappling, I don't think is really the best. I think he's going to have a very, very big grappling and wrestling disadvantage right here. His striking is going to be very solid. He has a really good jab 1-2, really good body kicks, leg kicks, all that type of stuff. But in my opinion, Thang is going to take him down over and over and over again. He has much better wrestling, much better grappling from the film that I did watch of Thang. And I do think he's going to go out there and just control Minjong Song on the ground and out-wrestle and out-grapple for 3 straight rounds. Maybe a ground pound TKO, but I do think this fight is going to go all the way. My prediction, Thang, my 30-27 unanimous decision. Really good fight in the featherweight division. Eugenie and Janelle Olsen in the women's strawweight division. Eugenie, pressure, and maybe a little bit of volume as well. But because she is 4'11" tall and her reach isn't really that long, she needs constant pressure. That's exactly what ended up getting her the win on Ritu Foga. Now, you can make arguments for Ritu Foga to win that fight. It was a very neck-and-neck fight. Obviously, Ritu Foga had the better wrestling and the better grappling, but in that fight, Eugenie had really good pressure, landed a lot of really good shots. The jab, the overhand left, the jab, the uppercut left, her body kicks, her high kicks were also very good in the fight, so her striking is going to be very, very solid, but I do think Janelle Olsen, with the height and with the reach, I also do think she's going to have the power advantage with 4 wins and 2 losses. She doesn't have any knockout wins on her record, but I mean, she's got a lot of power. In the last fight with, let's see over here, Mara Mazar, she had a really, really good right hand right down the middle, I believe, in the first round. It caught her really good, and once that happened, her head went down, she got the body lock, and almost had that guillotine in the very first round. But with the guillotines, with what was her other submission win? She had one other submission win with the arm bars. I do think she's going to have a slightly better grappling and submission skills. Although I don't think we're going to really see too much grappling or wrestling like sequences in the fight, I do think the fight does stay on the feet. Eugenie coming forward, and as she's coming forward, Janelle Olsen with that height and with that reach and with the power is going to pop out that jab and then that straight right hand. I can definitely see a knockout from Janelle Olsen right here with that straight right hand right down the pipe. But I'm going to go with decision. I think Eugenie is going to start going out there. She's got a lot of heart in her. She just keeps on going forward, trying to land her combinations, but Janelle Olsen, I think she's just going to counter her all day. Even if she's on the front foot, I think she's going to Sorry about that. I think she's going to attack the lead leg, attack the body with the kicks, and then come forward and get her back to the cage, throw the 1-2, the straight right down the middle. And I do think she just has the better striking, more powerful, probably going to be the faster striker, the taller striker, the lengthier striker. So because of that, I think she's going to have overall the better striking and kickboxing and Muay Thai and all that type of stuff. And I don't think we're going to see any grappling and wrestling. So my prediction right here is going to be Janelle Olsen winning the fight by a decision. And I do think she's going to go on to fight Grace Cleveland at this one championship fight card right here. They're really solid fight card. There's already a lot of really good fights, and Mei Yamaguchi, Julie Mezzabarba, and then a lot of other really good fights. And right now, the winner of Janelle Olsen and Eugenie will fight Grace Cleveland. And in my opinion, I do think the winner is going to be Janelle Olsen. So Janelle Olsen is, in my opinion, going to fight Grace Cleveland over at one championship in Power. So we shall see what happens. But my prediction is Janelle Olsen by unanimous decision. Really good fight in the women's strawweight division. Daiwan Kim and Weishi in the bantamweight division. Weishi with 7 wins and 3 losses. Daiwan Kim with 15 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. It's the new versus young. We have a 24, 25-year-old guy versus a 34-and-a-half-year-old veteran in the bantamweight division and the flyweight division. So it's pretty much the new versus the young in this fight right here. 5'6" for both of them, but there is going to be that age advantage for Weishi, but there's going to be that experience advantage for Daiwan Kim right there. But Daiwan Kim, he's a pretty solid striker. On the back foot is where he's probably going to be in the fight with a guy like Weishi. He's probably going to be looking to counter, just move backwards and just counter Weishi in the fight. His grappling and his wrestling skills are pretty solid. He got a knockout win on Aiden Yumai right there, and has a couple of other ground and pound TKOs and submission win on his record. I do think he's going to have a very slight grappling and wrestling advantage over Weishi, but that takedown defense that Weishi showed in his last fight with Kantaraj Shankaragasta, absolutely amazing. I mean, that takedown defense, I mean, he only got taken down like once or twice and had like a 90% takedown defense. It was absolutely amazing. So I do think this fight does stand the feet, and Weishi, with every single win being a finish in the first, second, or third round, of course, with only one fight going all the way. But right here, 7 knockout wins. Wow, only 2 losses way back in 2018 and 2017. Ever since then, he's been on an absolute tear with 5 wins in a row, all by finish. Lost 1 fight to Danny Kingod with 14 wins and 2 losses. So that's not too bad. I mean, Danny Kingod's an absolute beast, only losing to Adriano Moraes and then Demetrius Johnson. So that's the only guy he lost to recently. That's pretty much that's fine by me. But his power is really, really good. He's gonna be on the front foot, moving forward with a lot of body kicks, a lot of leg kicks, pressuring Daiwan Kim to the back of the cage and just throwing. I mean, he has a lot more power than Daiwan Kim. He's faster than Daiwan Kim. And I do think if the fight stays on the feet, Weishi is going to have a 50-50 chance of winning the fight by knockout because of all the power he has with 7 out of 7 wins at being knockouts. It's a good possibility we see a knockout, but Daiwan Kim has 0 losses coming by knockout. Let's see right here. Yeah, he has 5 decision losses, 1 submission loss, and 1 DQ loss. So in my opinion, I think the fight goes all the way. Weishi goes out there, attacks the lead leg in the body at range, closes the distance, the back of the cage, and then just starts throwing combinations, throwing those power shots, hurting Daiwan Kim a couple of times. But overall, my prediction is going to be Weishi going out there and winning the fight by a unanimous decision. Really, really good fight in the bantamweight division right there. Dej Damrong Sor Amnuai Sirchogi versus Duoji Banma. I'm sorry for everyone watching the video. I'm sorry if I'm getting the name incorrectly. It's kind of hard for a guy like me to pronounce the name. But this man right here is an absolute beast, a former Muay Thai champion and a former 1 strawweight champion. So the man is a veteran. 11 wins, 6 losses, 42 and a half years old. A lot smaller and a lot less in the reach department than a guy like Dioji Banma, who's only 22 years old, 20 years younger than Dej Damrong Sora Amir Siachogi, if I'm getting the name correctly. But Dioji Banma, I'm gonna be honest with you, I could not find any film on all the 13 wins. He has 13 wins, 1 loss, every single win being a finish with 12 knockout wins and 1 submission win. So obviously he's a very skilled fighter, but all of these wins, let's see right here, 1-1, 0-2, 3-2, 3-4, 0-1. Yeah, 13-8, not bad right there. 7-5, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 1-1, 2-2, 4-5. He's not really beating the best competition. All the guys that he fought, I mean, the best guy he beat, I don't know. It probably is going to be like Dmitry Shapovalov. That's pretty much it. But most of his wins aren't really against the best competition. And he just got a loss on Andrei Marchenko, who's 2-4, so that's not very comforting for me to pick Dioji Banma to win the fight. But he is a very, very well-known guy over there in China and Korea, all those type of things. But he's a very well-known like YouTuber, influencer, that type of thing. But he's fighting a veteran of the game, coming off a loss in his last fight, yeah, to by split decision. But before that, the knees in the clinch, the kicks to the body, the kicks to the head, the leg kicks, the Muay Thai that this man shows in his fights is absolutely amazing. And because I don't know too much about Dioji Banma, I could not find too much film on Dioji Banma. I am gonna go with the veteran in Dej Damrong Sora Amnuai Sirchogi to win the fight. I'm gonna go decision. I don't think he's gonna get the finish right here. I think he's gonna land a lot of good knees in the clinch, a lot of good body kicks and head kicks and leg kicks at range as well. Just put on the pressure, put on that volume, and I do think he wins the fight by a 29-28 decision. But if any of you guys out there have any film on Dioji Banma, I really could not find any of the film on Dioji Banma. But if you guys have any film on him, put in the comment section below, and maybe I'll change my prediction. But I couldn't find any film on him, and I do know that Dej Damrong is an amazing Muay Thai guy. Really good knees, really good kicks as well. So I'm going to go a decision for Dej Damrong Sora Amnuai Sirchogi to win the fight by decision. But really good fight in the flyweight division. But yeah, guys, that is my full card prediction for one championship Battleground 3 5 fights on the entire fight card. In the co-main event right here, I'm gonna go with Dej Damrong Sora Amnuai Sirchogi to win that fight right there. I got Weishi winning his fight, Janelle winning her fight, Thang winning his fight, and Pedro Jargo winning his fight right there. Overall, really good fight card for one championship Battleground 3. But if you're new to the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications down below, and put your predictions in the comment section below. I love to see what you guys think is going to happen on this one championship Battleground 3 fight card. But if you like the video, like, subscribe, everything like that, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.